Hello, everybody. Welcome back, and it's good to see you again. Hope that these video times of reflection continue to be a blessing to you, and I encourage you, if you've enjoyed it, to leave a comment in the comments below and to share that with some friends who maybe haven't found their way to our YouTube channel yet. So you can share this video with your friends and leave us a comment to let us know how this is connecting with you. Well, we've been working our way through the love chapter of 1 Corinthians 13 this week. And today I want to look at just a couple of more verses right after where we left off last night. So, in chapter 13, verses 5 through the first part of verse 8, it says, "Love does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends." I used to live in Minnesota. I went to seminary in Minnesota, and so I lived there for about 4 years. Met my wife there. She was at seminary too. My brother still lives in Minnesota, so Minnesota has a place near and dear to my heart. But there's a phrase that we use for Minnesotans called Minnesota nice. It's not really a great phrase, and quite honestly, most of the people I know from Minnesota are really, truly nice. But when you use the phrase Minnesota nice, what it means is that there's that sense of niceness, about politeness, about what you say, how you act, how you respond to things, that buries the truth, so that there's a layer underneath it that is really not feeling so nice about what things are going on, but they would never tell you that because they're being Minnesota nice. It's really a manner of passive aggressiveness. And I bring it up here because there are times where we've experienced people or situations or things that we've said, gosh, that they're just too nice. That can't possibly be true. It can't possibly be real. Reminds me of if you've seen the Matrix movies. In the first Matrix movie, they were talking about that they had made an original Matrix that was designed to be a perfect world, he said, where there was no suffering and everyone was always happy. And he said that all of the human beings rejected this version of reality that was fed to them through this virtual matrix that they had created. They rejected it because they said, this isn't real. This isn't the way things are. They couldn't accept that that was how things were. I bring this up because of verse 5, where it says, or verse 6, actually, where we're told love does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. What an interesting thing to say about love, because we often think that the loving thing to do is to be nice, is to be and that sometimes gets translated to not really being nice, but pretending to be nice while we are secretly seething underneath the surface. No, love is what happens when we are in a relationship of love with one person or with a whole community, as Paul is describing here, as we've talked about already. We aren't called to be mean about things, to just go around pointing out everybody's faults and say, oh, I can't believe that you would act this way. That was so wrong and terrible and horrible. No, Paul will go on to say, we're going to stay in this together. That's what verse 7 is about. But first and foremost, he says, love is willing to engage in real, authentic true conversation, to be real with one another. It's not going to look the other way when something goes wrong. It's going to actually say, I'm not going to rejoice in this wrongdoing and pretend that it was okay, that was great or that was wonderful. No, we're not going to turn a blind eye to all of the faults that are part of our community. Instead, we are willing to step into that, not so that we can get rid of people or put them down, but so that we can actually help, so that we can serve one another. Again, there's that connection. Love is about service, and service involves getting dirty sometimes. It involves being willing to get into it with people, and to say, look, I love you enough to tell you the truth. I love you enough to hang with you through the tough stuff. I love you enough to not rejoice and pretend that this was okay when we both know this was less than it should have been. No, let's rejoice in the truth. Let's rejoice that we can be together, that we can hold this, even the not so great things we can hold on to. And we can rejoice that we live and we bear them and we hold them and we trust each other in them and we hope with each other through them and we endure it, and they are not going to be our end. Love is willing to engage. Love is willing to be real, to tell the truth, and to rejoice that when we are in a relationship of love, the truth allows us to be known. And that leads us to more and deeper and better love. Let's keep living the story, and let's keep loving one another. See you tomorrow.